If you try and market one thing, just one thing, one way, you can easily get really frustrated and think something is wrong with you or your offer. Welcome, guys. We are on episode 44. Welcome back. So, I was speaking to a couple of agency owners just in the last week, because that's what I do in my business. So, technically, an agency, right? I build websites and do ads for people. Both the women that I was speaking to were in their late 40s, just like me, and both work with their partners, their spouses, their husbands, just like me. Now, we met in a mastermind last year, like sort of over the last year, a big group of other agencies. And then we just really hit it off. And then we formed our own little sort of side group. So one of them is Canadian, one of them is American. And I guess I'm American, but I've been in Australia since 2003. So I'd consider myself Aussie. So there's the three of us, right? And we meet up once a month and chat about everything. So from our most difficult clients, how to improve our leadership with our teams, how to hire a new team, how to train our teams, better systems, CRMs, what are you using to market? What's your dashboard to measure your metrics? All of that sort of stuff. We talk about, perimenopause and menopause therapies, CBD oil, you name it, like business, life, and everything in between. Riveting stuff, right? But here's the thing, like when you are able to find somebody who just gets you, you leave that space feeling so heard and so supported. So guys, make sure that you have, something in your life like that, because I only speak to them once a month and I always look forward to it. And I always come away feeling just really loved and supported and understood. So in this group, just the three of us the other day, in our conversation, part of our chat was sort of asking how our current client base is going, how our leads are going, how the business is going overall. And I was telling them about Facebook ads, meta ads that I've been running recently. I've been doing quite a few ads. Maybe some of you guys have seen them, in Australia, at least for now. And I've been doing quite a bit of these ads to build up a really warm sort of audience of people that are exposed to our content, and also to build up my email list, so I can focus on promoting things over time. So I get this question a lot. It's one of my FAQs. It's basically, hey, are you running ads in your business and how are your results? And yeah, I do. I run ads off and on. Right now, meta ads are my big focus. I've run YouTube ads. I've run Google ads. I'll be doing them again soon. But yeah, I thought, what I could do is share one thing with you now that's a really important lesson about my latest round of ads. Because it is a question I get. So you guys might have the question as well. You might be running meta ads in your business and be thinking, or maybe be thinking about it and, wondering. And so the two ladies I was speaking to, they're like, oh, like teach us, show us next time. So I'm going to show them. But I thought I'd just sort of give you some ideas for now of what I'm doing with my ads and how they're working. So one core thing about working smart and everything that we learn about in this podcast, series together around anti-hustle is testing and making no assumptions. Working smart is looking at data and it's making no assumptions about, oh, everyone's going to love this offer, or, my team loves this. Like, you can never make an assumption, right? You just never know. And you can rarely guess what the market actually wants. So if you try and market one thing, just one thing, one way, you can easily get really frustrated and think something is wrong with you or your offer. Like you built this thing, you put it out there to the world, and you're just sitting there going, I suck. Like no one wants it. Especially if you're scaling and testing new marketing channels. That's huge. Like you might have a channel that's working well, like referrals. A lot of businesses that are growing have grown from a referral network, or over time people just sort of saying, hey guys, you should go to so-and-so for such and such. And there's a time when you need more consistent cash flow and to build out your channels. And if you are growing and scaling your business, you're looking at these other channels. And that's kind of disheartening for a lot of us, because you might try meta ads, or you might try email marketing or whatever it is. And you're sitting there going, it's not working. So that's because you might not be testing enough, might not be looking at the data enough. So I want to paint the scene of my current ad setup for you guys. So what I do is I have short reels, 60 seconds or less, that summarize each podcast episode. So this episode I'm recording for you now, if you're listening to it on audio, I also do a version on YouTube. So YouTube is quite a big network now for people that want to listen to podcasts. They'll just like put the YouTube app on and listen. But also, a big part of that too is watching the videos, because I interview people obviously every other episodes. People pop over there to watch the guests that I have on. So we have the video going out there, and then we take the video and we clip it into a short 60-second like summary, and that becomes a reel. So I make the more popular ones, the more popular reels that we're doing into ads. Basically, I do a combination, right, of mindset and business advice. Like this one, I'm kind of giving you business advice. I'm talking about my ads. I'd classify that as business advice. Before last episode, I spoke about how I moved to Australia, and it was about sort of surrounding your people, looking at the 5 people you surround yourself with, most of the time. Sort of that Jim Rohn, you're the average of the 5 people you spend your time with, right? So that would be classified as like mindset. So I look at the most popular episodes that I have. I look at my statistics of how many of these episodes are being listened to, watched on YouTube as well, which reels people are resonating with the most. And I take those and I make them into awareness ads. So they're just 60-second little clips of content. Now, they're essentially warming people up to me and my style. That's it. They're just me teaching or talking or sharing stuff. Sometimes I'll make ads of my guests, but normally it's just quick clips of what I'm teaching. So yeah, I make those into ads, right? So they're awareness ads. So I'm getting them out there to people to build awareness around my brand. Now I build audiences of people who are watching these videos. Basically, I segment them into 2 groups, the business advice interest people and the mindset advice interest people, because in the future I might promote things in slightly different ways to them. And then I promote 2 free resources to build my email list to them. I'm also testing this right now with cold traffic as well. I'm getting great results straight to cold audiences, but also, to people that are exposed to my brand, they're also opting in and joining my email list. So I'm kind of doing both right now. So I have 2 free resources, you guys. That's the key. I have a 30-minute video training that's basically positioned as an on-demand masterclass that shares the 6 things that your website needs to get more customers. Now, that's one. And for a long time, that was my only sort of freebie/lead magnet thing that I would offer to get people into my email list. And then I have a checklist. So I have a checklist of how to patch the leaky buckets on your website. That's slightly different, right? This is just a download tool. It's supplemented by video, but it's a download checklist. So what's interesting is that in the past, I was always like trying to get this video out there all the time. And I noticed it was quite expensive. And then one day I'm like, okay, I need to start testing other freebies against it. So I'm getting $3 leads versus $9 leads on one versus the other. Do you happen to know what it is? Have a think. No, I'll tell you. So $3 leads for the checklist. So it's costing me $3 on Meta to get a lead, somebody that's going to download the checklist, versus roughly $9 or $10 for the video. Isn't that interesting? So I don't know why that is. Maybe people see video and they think I don't have time for that. Checklist seems like a swipe file, easy to consume. Probably. But it's interesting. So had I not tested this against each other, I would not have known. I would have not known. I would have just been like, oh, it's costing me $10 a lead. It's kind of expensive. And do I want to keep doing that? Now, on the top of the funnel, I know what I prefer at this point. So my top of funnel. So in marketing, we have top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Tofu, mofu, and bofu, as it said. So top of funnel is that awareness. You're building people into your brand. You're initially introducing them into what you do. Could be like if you're service-based business, a call or a free training, like I'm talking about to you guys. So on the top of funnel, I would be like, yeah, hands down, I should just go all in with the $3 leads. However, maybe that's not right. Don't know yet. And I'm going to be testing another freebie soon too. So I'm going to bring another thing into the mix. I have like a quiz, right? Are you losing money on your website? I've had that on my website for ages. I'm going to just tweak that and make it better. And then I'm going to start to implement or use that as a lead gen as well. So I'll be testing these things. But the reason why I'm saying if I'm focusing on top of funnel and I'm like, hands down, go for the cheapest leads, it doesn't necessarily make sense, because maybe the masterclass is going to convert into a customer more than a checklist downloader. That's the key. You have to look at what happens past that point. And now, even though I'm getting these cheaper leads, I don't know if it's going to be the best one yet. So that's phase 2. And that's what I'm starting to look at now as I'm refining my email marketing funnel. Look, I've had multiple sort of nurture sequence funnels over the years, and now is the time for me to test and measure that as well. So there's a bit of things I'm working on right now, but right now I'm like, cool, okay, I know it's roughly costing me to get a lead. I'm going to throw in another lead magnet now. I'm going to start to tweak, measure, look at the data and see which lead is actually getting me customers. Continuing to test all the way. So that is the key. It's way too early for me to just, plug the masterclass or the checklist. Ultimately, I want customers and not leads. Well, I do want my database to grow, but I ultimately want customers. I'm in business, right? So that is it. So just remember, testing and optimization is always necessary, you guys, to get good results. I'll have to tell you another story coming up soon about a really cool chiro that I do some work with, and how just a couple tweaks went from getting no leads at all to in like 13 in 2 weeks, like solid. I think most of them have become customers. Just a couple tweaks, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. I digress. So anyway, I'll talk about that coming up as a little case study. But anyway, just remember that to do the testing, do the tweaking. It's really, really important. And if you want help with your ads, by the way, if you're hearing this and you're like, wow, I want ads, or wow, I need to work on my ads, or what's optimization, Heather? I don't even know what you're talking about. If you're interested in ads, just reach out. Normally I start with like a little bit of an audit and see what you're up to with your ads. We do Google ads as well. You can just head on over to hustlerebellion.com, and click on the contact. There's a contact there in the menu in the top. And guys, I've been doing this for a long time, and I have 2 amazing experts on my team too. So I'm the puppet master, so to speak, with a lot of strategy and whatnot, but I have incredible experts on my team that help to do the Google and Meta ads alongside me. So yeah, if it's something you're like, cool, yeah, I'm into it, I want to see, if it might be for me, head on over there. So that's it, you guys. Over to you. What in your sales or marketing funnels can you test? Think about your processes. Think about how you're getting leads. Think about how you're selling them. What can you test? Again, this chiropractic business that I was talking about, gone from no leads to 13 within a 2-week period. No leads within a 3-week period, 13 within a 2-week period. There were some tweaks done, not a lot, just a little. Those made all the difference. All the difference. Now it's a very profitable funnel with ads. Before it wasn't. So think about your processes, your funnels, little tweaks, tests. Don't get discouraged. It takes time for all of us. It's not like an overnight thing, but it does involve testing and measuring. So I know this can be a little deep and crazy, but ultimately it is all about the theme of hustle rebellion. Let's rebel against the hustle. Let's work smarter. And a big part of that is looking at what you have and making better decisions around it through data and optimization. All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in as always, and I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye.